Imagine a moment when everything you've ever known begins to dissolve, not collapse, not shatter, not explode, just soften. The familiar patterns, the routines you once moved through on autopilot, the relationships that used to feel solid, they're all still there, but they no longer feel the same. It's as if the world around you is shifting, but not in a way that's visible to the naked eye. It's deeper than that, more subtle, like a current of energy moving beneath the surface of your life. You can't quite name it, you can't point to one moment where it started, but you know something is happening, something big. You're not the same person you were yesterday, and more importantly, you can't go back to who you used to be. This is how a real spiritual awakening begins. Not with fireworks, not with instant clarity, but with incompatibility. Your old way of living no longer fits the version of you that's emerging. And with that realization comes a transformation that is both beautiful and unsettling. You begin to see through illusions you once accepted as truth. False identities, inherited beliefs, social roles you didn't consciously choose but learned to survive inside of. You feel a pull towards something more authentic, more honest, more aligned with who you actually are beneath the conditioning. And slowly, quietly, you realize something important. Growth doesn't always come from adding more. Sometimes it comes from releasing what no longer resonates. Today, we're exploring 6 patterns that spiritually awake souls naturally outgrow as they return to their true nature. These aren't bad habits. They're not moral failures. They're deeply ingrained survival strategies, patterns we cling to for comfort, safety, or belonging. And as you'll see, releasing them isn't loss, it's liberation. 1. You outgrow the need for external validation. The first pattern that begins to dissolve is the hunger for approval. At first it's subtle, a compliment lands, and it doesn't hit the same way. Praise arrives, and your body doesn't lean toward it anymore. Recognition shows up, and instead of relief, you feel neutral. External validation once served a purpose. It helped you belong. It helped you feel safe. It helped you regulate your sense of worth through others. But as awareness deepens, something changes. Trying to perform for acceptance starts to feel physically uncomfortable. You notice it before you even understand it. Your throat tightens before you say what people expect. Your body pauses before you over-explain. Your energy pulls inward when you're about to betray your truth, not because you're afraid, because your system knows. This is the awaken stage in action. You're no longer willing to outsource your worth. And what replaces validation isn't arrogance or indifference, it's inner authority. A quiet, grounded knowing, I exist, I belong, I don't need permission. 2. You disengage from defining yourself through more. The second pattern you outgrow isn't success, money, or comfort. It's the belief that those things define you. You begin to feel the difference between expansion and compensation, between wanting something because it genuinely aligns, and wanting it because you think it will fix how you feel about yourself. You start asking different questions. Do I truly want this? Or do I want what I believe this represents? Who am I trying to become through this? And those questions simplify your life. You stop accumulating to feel worthy. You stop chasing milestones to prove your value. You stop confusing busyness with purpose. You simplify, not because you reject abundance, but because you redefine it. Abundance becomes clarity, peace, depth, presence. And here's the paradox seekers eventually discover. When you stop trying to become someone through things, you become magnetic to what actually belongs to you. Manifestation shifts from effort to alignment. 3. You release the illusion of control. Another major shift unfolds quietly. Your grip on control loosens, not because you stop caring, not because you give up, but because controlling life becomes exhausting. The harder you try to force outcomes, timing, or certainty, the heavier everything feels, until one day surrender feels like relief. This isn't passivity, it's ascension. You still take action, you still make choices, but you stop strangling outcomes with fear. You begin to trust the intelligence of timing, the unfolding of process, the fact that not everything is meant to be managed by your mind. And as control dissolves, something unexpected happens. Flow returns. Life starts moving again, not because you forced it, but because you stopped resisting it. 4. You become incompatible with draining relationships. As awareness sharpens, your tolerance changes. Conversations that once felt normal now feel heavy. Dynamics you used to excuse now register as energetic leaks. Repetitive cycles become impossible to ignore. This doesn't always lead to dramatic endings. More often it leads to distance. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop shrinking to maintain harmony. You stop investing energy where it isn't reciprocated. Not from anger, from clarity. And the moment you stop feeding what drains you, something else begins to find you. Resonant connections, mutual respect, relationships rooted in presence instead of performance. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you allow. 5. You stop editing your authentic self. At some point, the mask becomes heavier than the truth. You notice how much energy it takes to be palatable, to soften your edges, to dilute your reactions, and one day, you simply stop. You stop laughing at things that hurt. You stop agreeing just to avoid discomfort. You stop pretending you're okay when you're not. Not to be rebellious, but to be coherent. This is the become stage, when your internal truth begins to match your external expression. And when that happens, life responds, not magically, but naturally. Opportunities align. Decisions feel clearer. Your energy stabilizes, because congruence is power. 6. You release the performance of positivity. One of the most misunderstood shifts in awakening is this. You stop pretending to be high vibe all the time. You stop using spiritual language to bypass real emotions. You stop calling numbness peace. You stop forcing gratitude when your body needs grief. True healing isn't about denial. It's about integration. You allow emotions to move instead of trapping them behind affirmations. You let the body complete what the mind once avoided. And here's the paradox. When truth is allowed, your frequency rises on its own. Not because you forced it, because you freed it. 7. You no longer fear endings. Finally, something profound settles in. You stop fearing endings. Not just physical death, but identity endings, the end of a version of you, the end of a chapter, the end of beliefs that once kept you safe. You realize some things must complete, so something truer can begin. And when fear of endings dissolves, clinging dissolves with it. You stop begging life to stay familiar. You stop forcing what's already finished. You allow life to become honest. So here's what's really happening, seeker. You're not losing yourself. You're shedding what was never aligned. And once alignment settles at that depth, the old way of living quietly expires. If you're in the middle of this unraveling, you're not behind. You're right on time. This path isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before you learned to perform. And you don't walk it alone. If this resonated with you, please share it with a friend that needs to hear it. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for our new videos and show support for the channel. Awaken, you recognize distortion. Ascend, you release density. Become, you embody coherence.